Just a quick note here before we get going with the episode. Because I missed uploading yesterday, what I've done today is uploaded 2 of each franchise mode video. So this is the second episode of A Nation United to be uploaded today. So if you haven't seen the first one, go back and watch that one first. And if you're watching this video months down the line in a playlist and this is completely irrelevant to you, well, I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again, episode 8 of A Nation United, and let's get right down to business. We have a lot of work to do as we set up our roster for Season 2. Now, I want to say this right off the bat. To be honest, I shouldn't even do the 85% trick to lower the asking price on these contracts, because we do need to fill up that cap space, but more than likely we'll just use the, max out contract on a veteran player to overcome that. That way we don't get into a whole hell of a lot of trouble moving forward. Now, for example here, I don't even have to do this with Linus Ullmark. I'm still going to, because I'm a douche and I don't want to pay you, but that's okay. Nicholas Backstrom, of course, who was never eligible, will be let go, and for now, the goaltending looks good. On defense, I'm still probably going to sign everybody. Holy shit, Gunnarsson. I didn't even notice that. Christopher Gunnarsson, second round pick and 80 overall at 20 years old. Holy shit. That is incredible. That is incredible. I did not even notice that. And very helpful too when you look at the, the age and overalls of some of these younger players. Wow, that is incredible. For now, what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to sign pretty much everybody. I'm going to re-sign pretty much everybody, because there's no guarantee that the free agent market is going to be any better for us. There's no guarantee of that. So I just want to play it safe, re-sign the players that we already have, that we know are eligible, and we'll trade away players if we have to from there. So Fulham will get re-signed. Olofsson, it's good to see him pushing for a roster spot. And again, if you hear clicking in the background from the mouse or my keyboard, I apologize. And I know it sounds absolutely terrible, but it is what it is. That's the only way to put it. It is what it is. Now, Linus Arneson is looking for a big boy contract, which is a little bit disappointing, but maybe a bit promising. But the fact he's not looking for a two-way deal is slightly concerning. Wickstrand, we will also sign as well. And again, I'm going to be cheap as hell here with every deal. Wickstrand, we could actually sign to the minimum deal, which is very, very nice. He's not looking for anything. And then Rasmus Andersson also needs a deal. We're pretty much going to be able to sign him to the minimum as well, but we'll just double check, and indeed $650 for him. Anton Lindholm will even hold on to. We'll go down to $650 for him, and we are looking good on defense. Victor Arvidsson needs a contract, and he shall get paid, making just over $3.5 million per season. Oscar Sundqvist will also be re-signed. And again, I'm going to be cheap as hell here because I don't really care. I don't really care. We'll just get everyone onto as cheap of a contract as possible. And that way, if someone makes progression that we weren't exactly expecting, we're good to go. Because I don't know how quickly to expect this team to end up being a contender, because there's no way of knowing what kind of progression we're going to get from some of these players. Now, we re-signed Czar. Nystrom's actually the first guy I'm going to let go of. I don't think he's going to progress. Wanstrom as well is going to be let go. Joachim Nordstrom needs a deal. He had one hell of a season. One hell of a season. Someone who I thought we would absolutely cut after our first year. Absolutely not. He is sticking around. Victor Hedman looking for a deal as well. We'll bump him down to 1.6. Grundstrom needs a deal. Of course, in real life, just signed with the Leafs. Good on them to get him locked up. He looks like he could be a hell of a player for them. Moving forward, Rasmus Asplund needs his first deal. We'll sign him to the minimum. And then centers, Andre Burakovsky, who we, of course, moved to center towards the end of last season. After acquiring him, we'll bump him down to 3.15 for the next 2 years. Dennis Rasmussen, the other big player that really stepped up that I expected to end up getting rid of. He'll be making 1.45 next season. Anton Lander, odds are, will be traded. I mean, if we need to get rid of somebody to make room so that we can sign a ton of players, Anton Lander is one of the first to go. He wasn't a terrible fourth liner for us, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned about keeping him here. Sundstrom's just on the border. He's 24 years old. He might make the NHL roster. That's a big might, but we'll keep him around for now. And I know some people are still screaming, you don't have to do this for these lower players. I want to. So there. Jonathan Dahlen also wants the minimum, which is fine by me. And we'll worry about signing guys like Olsen later on. Now, we do still have contract spots, which is nice. We're shaping up here pretty well. I just don't know who to expect on the free agent market. It is going to be a surprise for me one way or another. Now, we'll just double check here to make sure that everybody accepts. So far, so good. For us, everybody is back. That is beautiful. We'll double check again just to make sure. But we're good to go, and we are moving on to the re-sign phase in near record time, which is always nice. Goalies were good, right? Goalies were good. Yes, we are. Beautiful. Let's move on to the free agent period. $23 million to spend. Question is, will we have anybody to spend it on? Like I mentioned in the last video, I'm not allowed to check players' nationality. So there's a chance that I could just flat out miss somebody. Like Andre Burakovsky, for example, I made the mistake in the past of thinking he was Russian. If he was a free agent, I could potentially miss him, but right off the bat, we know we have players like Melker Karlsson, like Toby Enstrom, available to us. Johnny Oduya, another veteran, also available to us, but there isn't that big name that really jumps off the page, which is unfortunate. And the thing is, if I do sign anybody that I shouldn't have, of course, they'll just sit there until I get rid of them. You know, basically, instead of, trying to trade them away extremely quickly, they will just sit there. Now, of course, for prospects, it's a little bit bigger of a pain in the ass. And like I said, it's a shame. You just can't click over one extra time. I mean, Johan Gustafsson, that's fairly obvious that he's available. It'd be nice. And the big issue, though, too, is with created players down the road. That's where the big issue is. And that's why I wanted to go so heavy on the draft, is because in free agency, once it's created players, and I can't check their nationality, you've had people named, I don't fucking know, what's a stereotypical name? You've had frickin' Joe Stewart from Denmark. Tough to tell that he's from Denmark. You'd probably think American or Canadian. So that is the problem with a series like this. It was a much bigger pain in the ass in the original series back on NHL 16. Obviously using Swedish names here, much, much easier. But right here, it's not looking like there are any goalies that we're going to really want from this free agent class. Yes, you have Jonas Gunnarsson, but he's 25 years old. So I think for goalies, we're pretty much good. Artu Kumala, I don't believe is. You do have a couple of other guys here, but nobody that's a necessity. I mean, it is medium backup as well. So goalies, we are pretty much out of it. Magnus Hellberg, I'm fairly certain is Swedish, but it's not like we need him Although I would guess that was more chemistry related than anything. If it turns out we need another goalie, which we probably don't, I mean, Jonas Enroth will probably be available. Defensively, like I said, we have Johnny Obduya, we have Toby Enstrom, and from there, it drops off pretty hard. There aren't that many. I mean, there's certainly not the big name free agent available. So prospect-wise, do we have anybody? Not Brandon Davidson, of course. Daniel Brickley is still there. Peters, Andre Schuster, not available to us. Not like medium top six has a great potential. High seventh, jeez. Yeah, we are. See, that's why I wanted to just re-sign everybody that we already had, because it could end up like this, where we are in a bit of a tough situation for prospects. Now, looking at the ages here, 21 for LeBlanc, Patrick Sanvito, obviously not eligible, and Kyle Jenkins. So yeah, prospect-wise, just player-wise in general, we're in a bit of a rough spot. I could go out and sign a Johnny Obduya for the season. Same with Toby Enstrom. And that might honestly be what we end up doing, is just signing these guys and then maybe play them at the AHL level if we have progression. That's the tough choice right now. That is the tough choice, is do we even bother with that? Because we don't know what to expect for progression from some of these players. So hold on, Toby Enstrom probably listed as a top six still? Yeah, he and Obduya both listed as top six. All right. We are struggling right now, big time. I mean, there's no players here either that are worth going after. So, yes, it's a good thing we handled the draft in the re-sign phase the way that we did. High bottom six, where you don't have any options there. Medium bottom six. Do we have anybody that jumps off the page? We have Wanstrom, who we just got rid of. Eric Nystrom as well, that we just got rid of, who we could bring back, and honestly I might. I mean, I don't think he's going to really pan out to be anything, but we'll see if he wants to re-sign. We might as well throw that offer out there, because otherwise it's not looking too good. High top six, Fiore, Waked, Califf, I think. He had a weird nationality. He was actually signed by my AHL squad. Let's see, Mike Halmo, absolutely not. Damn, it is slim pickings for us. Magnus Pajärvi, someone who I believe people were saying I should have looked at. Good chance we'll sign him. Yes, he's 26, so he's not going to get much better than that, but he could be a good fourth liner for us. Do we have anybody non-potential wise to look at here? No, we don't. Pajärvi is pretty much as good as it gets. Vancouver also interested. He wants a two-way deal, so we'll just offer him the max. And he's a restricted free agent as well with the Canucks, so I'm sure they'll match it. I didn't even notice he was a restricted free agent. I'm sure they'll match it, but in case they don't, we'll bring Magnus Pajärvi along. We have Daniel Bernhard. Patrick Bjorkstrand, I believe, is from Denmark, so that's not going to work out for us. Alexis Pepin. Anybody else? Nope. Man, really slim pickings here, free agent-wise. Christian Pospisil, De Giacinto is there. Simons, you're Finnish. I mean, just flat out, you're Finnish. Who else? Francois Beauchemin. All right. And that's that for left wings. Man, this is rough, guys. This is rough. Centers, Melker Karlsson. We might as well send him an offer. Might as well. Let's see if he wants to come back. He is looking for a decent amount of money. We'll bump it up to $375, and we'll see if Karlsson wants to come back. Andre Nestrasil, I swear, is Finnish. Or not Finnish, I swear is Swedish. Do I want to take the... I mean, he's an 80 overall anyway, so who the hell cares? Josephson, I know, is Swedish, but again, it's an 80 overall. Who the hell cares? It's not like he's going to help out a whole hell of a lot. Prospect-wise, there's nobody there. medium bottom 6. Do we have any younger players? Right now, as I'm scrolling, I'm looking through the ages in particular. Axel Holmstrom. There we go. There's a Swede that we could sign on. We'll sign you to a max deal as well. Axel Holmstrom, I should say. Could be a decent addition. And then high AHL, top 6. Is there anybody else that we can add? It's not looking like it. Miro Aaltonen. He's 24, so we don't have to worry about him. We don't have to worry about him. And that's that for centers. All right. Very slim pickings for this team. So approached, just 2 players, Carlson and Holmstrom. Oh, wait, that was for centers. Let me go to everybody. Whoops. I was going to say, where the hell is Pariarvi? We've sent out 4 offers. Wow. And it's not like any of them are terrific. So, forwards, I think we're good. And then defensively, I am going to send an offer to Oduya and to Toby Enstrom just for the hell of it. Now, that Oduya contract, honestly, I don't know if anyone's even going to go for him. Toby Enstrom, hey, man, he's getting offers. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go for it. Even if my problem is, what if we have to retain salary to trade them? That's my big thing, because these aren't looking like tremendous contracts. But let's bump that up to 3.8, and then Johnny Oduya, we'll bump it up to 3.5 even. And fuck it. We'll just see what happens. Now, I think Kindle? Isn't Kindle available? I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure. I feel like maybe he is, but I can't say for sure. Same with Lucas Spiza for some reason, but I think we're good there with the 2 higher overall defensemen. And then goaltending, we're fine. We're fine goaltending-wise. So that's it. That is it. Let's see who accepts. And then from there, I will have to send out, more than likely have to send out a max deal at some point. But let's take a look. Let's see here. Axel Holmstrom is signed. That's good. He was pretty much the one I was most hoping to get. Melker Karlsson has come back. Oduya. Payarvi's accepted, but he's an RFA. Toby Enstrom and Eric Nystrom have accepted. So we just need to wait to hear back. And there you go. Magnus Payarvi stays in Vancouver. And that pretty much does it for our free agency exploration. We got $14 million left. And actually, how many contracts do we have? Just to make sure that the game doesn't sign anybody else at the AHL level. We're at 48 anyway, so we should be fine. We should be fine. We get to move forward to the start of next season. So, as expected, not a major free agent market for us in the first year. It should get better moving forward. But yeah, imagine if we handled the draft in a different way. We'd be in a pretty damn tough spot. But it might prove to still be a mistake to have gone after Karlsson and especially Enstrom and Johnny Oduya. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm not against trading them. The big problem is, I can't send them down to the AHL without them getting pissed. And that would make them near impossible to trade. I'm not against retaining salary. If anything, that would be helpful for the first few years. It's going to be a waiting game unless we magically make the playoffs again like we did this year. It is so tough to say. I figured the struggle and the grind would be much more difficult. I figured this episode would be, hey, we're already starting season 2 because we never made the playoffs. But we did, and we made it to the second round. So what happens with this team moving forward, who the hell knows? But let's get a look at this team. Let's get a look at some of the progression from our players and see what's going on here. So Leonard's an 88, Allmark's an 83, Hogberg going up to an 80, and Werner's a 78. So it's a good thing we didn't sign anybody. We could use another goalie on the roster for shits and giggles, but I'm all right with it for now. I'm all right with it for now, and we'll just balance those two. At the NHL level, Arneson will get sent back down, Dahlbeck as well. But we have Hedman and Lindholm both at 93s, Larson's an 85, Olofsson an 84, Oduya and Enstrom 83s, Folan's an 82, but then Frederick Claesson jumped up to an 84, and that certainly changes the situation. The AHL situation as well. We have a pretty rich prospect pool going on there to the point where we're probably going to have to trade a person or two to make sure everybody can make it. So let's see here. Our top 6 probably doesn't include Christian Folin. I think Christian Folin, how old is he? 26. He's going to cap out at an 82 or an 83. I think primarily Christian Folin is the one that gets screwed over by the signings of Oduya and Enstrom. Now, I could trade Oduya and Enstrom immediately, and the game will just give me the warning, hopefully. But that could be risky. That could be risky. But Olofsson and Clayson really step up there. I could just scratch Oduya and Enstrom, sim a month or two into the new season, and then trade them. So, I don't know. It depends on if we want to hang on to Christian Folin. And then forwards, let's look here. I mean, obviously, these 3 guys will be sent down, and that pretty much settled itself out. Forward-wise, not a tremendous amount of progression, if any, at all. The AHL team is going to look all right. Tobias Lindberg projected to play the 4th line, so we'd want to call him up. Absolutely. And potentially could even scratch Lander. Forsbacka Karlsson has made the jump, which is nice. But yeah, it might be another rough season for us in terms of goal scoring. But we still have a few things to attend to here. We still have a few things to attend to. Because I do want to just double check. Now, we didn't sign, and that's the other big thing. We didn't sign, was it Bronstrom? Or was it Gunnarsson? I think it was Gunnarsson, who was an 80 overall at the start of the re-sign phase, and we didn't sign him. He would have gotten even better. So as it turns out, the Oduya and, Jesus, fucking Winnipeg dude there, Toby Enstrom, weren't necessary. But if we look at our unsigned players, oh yeah, Gunnarsson jumped up to an 82. He jumped up to an 82. Elias Anderson is an 80, so he should be eligible to go to the AHL. So we still have quite a bit of work to do. Now, Liljegren, oh man, I really should have paid attention where all these guys were from, because I don't want to sign someone and have them not be able to play. That's the big issue. Swig of Arnold Palmer. Don't mind me. Arnold Palmer, half and half. 'Tis delicious. But let's see here. Yeah, but man, we still have a lot to do. We still have a lot to do. Some of which I could definitely just do off screen to get this team set up. But fuck it. We're already here. We are already here. Let's do this. Let's figure out what we want this team to be. Now, first and foremost, because we have $14 million to spend, I am going to go out and sign a veteran just to play it safe. I'm going to guess that Matthias Tarnqvist is good to be signed. And if I'm wrong, who gives a shit? But let's sign him. Wow, actually, we don't even need to sign him for the max. Let's jump that down to, about 10 million. Wow, this takes a while to scroll. I wish it was like FIFA, where you could hit the Y button and just change the numbers automatically without having to scroll. There you go. If you're playing Toogie Bingo, he mentioned FIFA and how it's superior. You can, mark that box. There you go. Coming soon through Patreon. Just kidding, I don't have a Patreon. At least not yet. At least not yet. Sorry, I've already talked about money. I mentioned money in a way. I'm sorry. Don't leave. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mention it. I'm sorry. I'm broke. Okay? Oh, shit. Alright, let's figure this out here. Now, Marmondland we could sign as well as that 5th goalie. I meant to bring that up. But, let's see here. And actually, you know what? Let's go to edit lines first, because I don't have a set plan on who I want to trade away. So, let's figure this out. Shouldn't have signed Oduya and Enstrom. I figured that was a mistake. But let's see here. Who's listed as a 4th line guy? These 4 are. Wow, Rasmussen's listed as a 4th line guy. He'll probably play over that mark. All 2nd line guys, minor league scoring forward, depth forward. All right. So, absolutely, it's looking like the 4th line, although Forsbacka Karlsson is strong offensively. So, 3rd liners, right. Let me Let me figure this out. Yeah, we could go this way so that we have all right-handed players. Excuse me. I don't know if that would have picked up on the mic, but I couldn't hold off that burp. Couldn't do it. So let's see here. If we go just based on offensive ability, Nordstrom, Eriksson, Ek, and Forsbacka Karlsson would be a pretty strong second line, with the third line of, actually we wouldn't even want one of those two guys. Let me check face-off ability here. We don't necessarily need righties on the right, but just, you know, as a projected lineup, that doesn't look too bad. Looks a bit promising. And there are no scratched forwards. So then defensively, trading Christian Folin is absolutely going to happen. Christian Folin has lost his spot. So let's trade Folin and sign Gunnarsson. And for now, I think, just because I don't want to risk, because trading is going to be such a valuable tool for us, we'll probably just hold on to Enstrom and Oduya for now, and in a month or two down the road, we'll get rid of them and just get whatever the hell we can for them. If you look at their value, I mean, Enstrom's more valuable than I thought he would be. Johnny Oduya is pretty far down the totem pole. But Christian Folin, you know, I do think he would have been a decent third pairing defenseman for us. But for now, we will ship him out. Can we get a second round pick from Boston for Christian Folin? No, we can't. But if we tinker around with that a little bit, not as if we have that many draft picks to do that, but let's see. Can we get this to go through? Yes, we can. We add on a 6th round pick, and we get a second rounder for Christian Folin. Now, it's not projected to be a good second rounder. The Bruins do have that champions tag, but they do get another defenseman that could help with a potential cup push for them. Remember, I believe they drafted 1st overall in there, so I believe they have Connor McDavid. They're looking pretty good moving forward. But let's see here. We need to go to Gunnarsson. And let's sign the man to his entry-level deal. And goalies, am I allowed to sign Marmanland, or are we at the limit? Yep, okay, good. We're allowed to sign Marmanland as well. Perfect, so he'll be the 3rd-string goalie down in Ontario if there is an injury, and we call up a goalie. That way we always have at least our, I don't want to say owned players, but we have our players in a spot. So Marmanland can be sent down. Gunnarsson is there, which is good. And then forwards, we're good. All right, so let's send Marmanland down. We'll send him down. You could definitely argue it'd be worth going out and getting some offensive help. But, you know, I'm not too concerned. So Toby Enstrom would most likely be scratched here. He's not a bad player, but it's that out-of-nowhere progression from Frederick Claesson that really helped things out. So he's still listed as a top 6 defenseman. We have 2 legit top 2 defensemen on the top pairing, which is pretty fucking sweet. But we'll have Claesson with Larson and then Olofsson with Gunnarsson. I'm liking our defense, man. I'm liking our defense. Still some good potential. We really like Adam Larson to progress a bit more. But that's not terrible. And then scratched players, we have Oduya and Toby Enstrom there, and we'll look to get rid of them as soon as possible. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And there wasn't any question marks about eligibility. We know everybody is Swedish. So then down at the AHL level, the problem is there are probably going to be players like Califf, for example, that the game has signed. But we can work around that. You could question whether or not we should still trade Hogberg. It's looking like he might progress. I mean, then again, Warner did progress as a backup, so never mind. Our goalie situation's good. We're going to keep both of them, and then Marmanland is the 3rd-string guy. But defensively, you could argue trading Klaus Dahlbeck is going to be a good idea. Because as for scratched players, we do have Rasmus Andersson, Anton Lindholm, and Robin Norell all signed. So absolutely Klaus Dahlbeck is done here. And then from there, we're still going to have to leave Lindholm and Norrell scratched, but they are high 7th D, so I'm not all that concerned about their progression. I think we'll be all right regardless. So let's see here. What do we want to do? Minor league top 2, a couple of minor league top 2 guys. Let's go with Arneson just because he's got the high potential. And then Wickstrand needs to play there. All right. We're looking okay. We're looking okay defensively as well. A lot of potential. A few years from now, we could be a pretty damn dominant team. But 4 players whose name, 5 players that end in Son. That is not surprising to me at all. So then forwards, we have our 2 depth defensemen. Who do we have for forwards? Now, Dahlbeck needs to be traded. You have Lindholm, Norrell. Jonathan Dahlin is available. We'll get him into the lineup. Everybody else is good, though. Yeah, everyone else is good. Pontus Aberg, it's a shame. He's going to be down at the AHL level, but maybe that will help his progression. Now, we do have, I'm looking at potentials right now, just so you know what I'm scouting out. Anton Lander would be a help for that team, but we could also look to get rid of him. So let me see here. Califf isn't ours. Nystrom is, but I'm not concerned. Hedda isn't our player. Rasmus Asplund could get into the lineup. Robert Rosen is Swedish, but he's not our player. Matthias Tarnqvist was, due to signing him. But you see how many players it signed for us, which kind of sucks. But we have Nystrom and Asplund that could get into the lineup. So I think we're good, though. Because Nystrom was 23. So Nystrom could be the scratch. And then from there, I don't really have to worry about having anybody else in. So for now, we're going to trade Anton Lander and Klaus Dahlbeck. Those are the next 2 to move out. And then I might look at signing some of our unsigned prospects that could actually go down to the AHL level, in which case we'd have to clear out more contracts, but that's fine. So let's see. Dahlbeck and Lander are 2 least valuable players. Neat. Where can we send you? Where can we send you? We could send you to Ottawa, which we wouldn't have to deal with you, so that would be very, very nice. They don't want to trade any picks, though. I don't know why. They're listed as contenders. How about the Islanders? There you go, Islanders. That 2nd round pick is going to be way too much. Yes, it is, but that's okay. We should be able to get some other picks away from the Islanders. I am asking for way too much. What the hell am I doing? Let's see if that's still probably going to be too much. Yes, it is. How about just the 3rd and the 5th? Nope. I want that 3rd round pick. We might not be able to get it, though. Let's double check. 6th and the 7th, still too much. Just the 6th, still too much. Straight up for the 3rd, still too much. All right, they don't want to give up the 3rd. That's fine. Let's just pick Horde from them. Let's just pick Horde. And that should go through right there, and indeed it does. So they get depth players for picks that they don't necessarily need. We could absolutely use those picks in upcoming drafts. Before I forget, I want to switch the scouting over to the SHL. 15 forwards, 9 defensemen, and what was that, 2 goalies? Could be a rough season for us. But let's continue to figure out the AHL roster, and we will be good to go for the start of next season. I have some optimism. I do. We might struggle this year, but I'm feeling pretty good. Now, as far as players go, Olsen would be a guarantee because he's 20. Now, I don't know. Elias Anderson's definitely eligible. How many of these players were eligible? That's the question. So I guess first things first, I'm just going to sign, the 2 highest overall guys. So let's sign Elias Anderson, and let's sign Olsen. And we will see, of course, if they are both eligible for the AHL. I believe they are. I should have absolutely made sure with Liljegren. I don't even know for sure. And like I said, because some players I put on the CHL instead of overseas just to make sure that everything worked out smoothly. That can cause a bit of confusion. But Elias Anderson will be sent down, and we'll get him into the lineup, as well as Olsen, most likely. So let's see, medium bottom 6, high top 9. So Olsen was low top 9, right? And then medium bottom 6 and Czar. So it's going to have to be a medium bottom 6 guy that's taken out of the lineup. And it's going to be Axel Holmstrom, unfortunately. But we need to get Elias Anderson into the lineup. And actually, let's see, can I see him from here? No, I can't because of how many players are signed. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. It was Olsen, who's a low top 9. So we can leave him as a scratch. We can leave him as a scratch. And honestly, I think we're good to go. Like, yeah, we could sign other players for sure. But, well, actually, we could get rid of Johan Sundstrom. But he did jump to a 78 from a 76. I think we're good for now. You know, I think we're good for now. There are players that we could definitely look to move out to get other younger players into the lineup. But that will happen in time. That will happen in time. And as it is, you have Olsen and Holmstrom that aren't getting into the lineup. Nystrom as well. So we have 3 scratched players that are actually ours, as well as 2 defensemen. So we're looking good. We are looking good. I will sort out the lineup off screen because that's just time consuming and even less exciting than what this episode has already been. But you have a general idea of what these teams are going to be. Like I said, Johnny Oduya and Toby Enstrom will stick around long enough to make sure I don't get punished for trading them, which should be about a month into the season. And then at that point, we can decide whether or not, I mean, trying to trade for better players now isn't going to work. We have to rebuild through the draft. And we started off on a very good note, including Christopher Gunnarsson, who will be on the opening night lineup, the 55th overall pick. But I certainly don't know what to expect from the Swedes in Season 2, but I am excited to see what this team can do. I hope you guys are as well. That will do it for this one. If you enjoyed the episode, of course, make sure to hit that like button to help support me and the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of A Nation United.